Hey guys, this is your host Thomas Tyree here from On the Hot Podcast. Today, this will be episode 255 for you guys today. And to kick off today's episode, I'll be sharing my favorite teams to make it out of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference heading into the NBA playoffs. So today was the end of the NBA regular season as I record this segment. These are the following two teams that I do believe are the favorites and my own personal favorites to make it out of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference as we approach the NBA playoffs. So to start off with the Eastern Conference first, my team to make it out of the Eastern Conference, the favorites to make it out of the East, is the Boston Celtics. Now, I do believe that the Boston Celtics should be the favorites heading into the NBA playoffs to make it out of the Eastern Conference. Now, they are the second best team in the Eastern Conference behind the Detroit Pistons, who finished with 60 wins this NBA season, and they have earned the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. But I do believe that the Celtics are the favorites heading into the NBA playoffs. I mean, they overachieved. I should say they overachieved in a gap year where the expectations were very low, and they would have been lucky to be a 6th seed in the East or an NBA play-in tournament team this year based off the talent they lost, like Jrue Holiday, Porzingis. Jason Tatum tore his Achilles in the second round against the New York Knicks last year. And what does Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics do? They overachieve, earning the second seed in the Eastern Conference. And now you get Jason Tatum back, who came back earlier from schedule from that torn Achilles injury. You now have a healthy Jason Tatum, who has been playing very well since coming back from injury. You also have a healthy Jaylen Brown. We all know when that duo of Tatum and Brown is together in the Eastern Conference, it's bad news for the other opposing Eastern Conference teams. History has shown that. And they have a lot of experience together, Tatum and Brown, doing the playoffs. They won the NBA title, the first title together back in 2024, and they have plenty of NBA playoff experience, getting to the NBA Finals in 2022, losing to the Golden State Warriors, several trips to the Eastern Conference Finals over their NBA careers. So, and I honestly think when you look at it, the experience of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they have more experience than all these other contending teams in the Eastern Conference, like the Detroit Pistons, who don't have much playoff success. That group doesn't. The New York Knicks, they have more experience than the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Toronto Raptors that are a very young team out there in Toronto. So I do believe that the Celtics also do have the coaching advantage with having Joe Mazzulla as their head coach. Again, former NBA champion, has the playoff experience and taken over a few years ago for this Boston Celtics team. And I think they have the coaching advantage over the other top-tier teams in the Eastern Conference. I would like to have Joe Mazzulla over J.B. Bickerstaff. I think he's coach of the year for Detroit Pistons, but I think he has more experience in the playoffs with better overall talent, with playoff experience. Same could be said about the New York Knicks and Mike Brown. His first year in New York, we'll see if he can swim in the deep waters and take them far in the playoffs. And I think they have the advantage over the other true contenders like the Cavs and the Raptors in terms of the coaching department as well. And the Celtics, what makes them scary is they have proven throughout the year that they are a good three-point shooting team. They play good defense, and your two best overall players are two good two-way players in Tatum and Brown. So I think the Boston Celtics, I don't really like them a lot, but we're unbiased as analysts on this sports podcast, and I honestly think they're in the driver's seat heading into the NBA playoffs, and I think they should be labelized as the overall favorites to make it out of the Eastern Conference this NBA postseason. Now, let's go into the Western Conference here. The Western Conference, I'm going with the San Antonio Spurs. Now, I'm riding with the San Antonio Spurs as my own personal favorite to make it out of the Western Conference and possibly represent the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. So I do think the Spurs are the favorites to make it out of the Western Conference to get to the NBA Finals. And the Spurs have been on fire this NBA season. As I recorded this segment, in their last 33 games, they have gone 30 wins, 3 losses. That's the second, and they have earned the second best record in the Western Conference to close out the NBA regular season. So the Spurs are heading into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. Victor Wembanyama has been on an absolute tear as of late. The alien, this man is going to be a wrecking ball, a dominant force in the league for the next 3 to 8 years. And this year he averaged 25 points per game, 11 rebounds, shot 51% from the field, and he has been a tremendous two-way player for the San Antonio Spurs. Don't give me that crap about his height and his reach are the reasons why he's a good defensive player. No, this man puts in the same effort defensively as the same effort that he puts on the court offensively. He has a chance to become the youngest MVP in league history and to win a Defensive Player of Year award in the same season. I think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year award. I think that's a lock, but that would be incredible if he could win both of those awards this NBA season. But the Spurs, thanks to the help of Victor Wembanyama, I've been raving about this every time I talk about the Spurs. He has helped the Spurs become a top 5 team in the league offensively and a top 5 team in the league defensively. So they're alert and they play very well on both ends of the court. And you look at the track record for the Spurs, how can you not say that they're not the favorites heading into the NBA playoffs in the Western Conference? They went 4-1 against the reigning defending NBA champions of the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have their number. And they blew them out several times in those 5 games that they matched up against them. They're 3-1 against the Los Angeles Lakers. And right now, heading to the playoffs, LeBron is looking pretty good as a number 1 scoring option. But I've already said I don't like their chances out in a dangerous Western Conference without their 2 best players right now in the lineup of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. They have the Lakers number. They're 3-1 against the Houston Rockets this NBA season. Another contender in the West. And I'm looking at the lineup that they have and the star players that they have out in there in San Antonio. They have the recipe for success because they got Victor Wembanyama, they got De'Aaron Fox, they got Stephon Castle, Dalian Harper. They got a good rotation. They can play good offensively, good defensively. This is a team that honestly could get to the NBA Finals. Now, their experience could hold them back. We'll see how far the Spurs do get in the playoffs. But I like everything I said. And I honestly think they could be the favorites to get to the NBA Finals. Now, we'll see how they match up possibly against the Oklahoma City Thunder or a team like the Nuggets or somebody that has playoff experience. Maybe even the Timberwolves could give them a run for their money because that's a team that I've said has a chance to get to the NBA Finals due to the fact that they've been to the previous 2 Western Conference Finals. So I honestly think the Celtics and the Spurs are the 2 most dangerous teams in each conference heading into the playoffs, and I think they should be labeled as the favorites to get to the NBA Finals this year in their respective conferences. So those are my thoughts on who I do believe is the favorite in the Eastern Conference and in the Western Conference to get to the NBA Finals this NBA postseason.